That tracks. Hey. How's it going, guys?
Yes.
What is that beautiful choral background?
Oh my god, is this our first guest on That TRACKZ?
Guys,
Oh my god.
Episode 10, first guest, we have the one and only
Emily Villarreal.
Yay!
Emily, welcome to That TRACKZ.
Thank you so much for having me, Thanks for having me, Guy. Thank you for having me, guys. I'm such a fan of the pod. I'm so excited to be on.
Yeah, oh my god, we're so excited to have you on.
Ethan, how do you know Emily?
Through stand-up.
We do stand-up together.
Yeah, I can say confidently that you are the most energetic comedian. That
you are not funniest, most energetic comedian I know.
You are hilarious. You are hilarious. But like you,
It is not the jokes that he remembers.
Well, I'm like the stage presence. I'm like you are there.
But yeah, I try. I definitely try. I think sometimes I'm trying to wake myself up when I'm on stage. No shade to other comics, but I don't know. Sometimes I like dry humor, but I wouldn't say that I think a lot of people who are deadpan or low energy are incredibly funny a lot of the time, unless there's a certain wordplay element, something that makes me think. And so like when I get through 10 like sets of like sloths of like just random straight dudes talking about God knows what about bitch girlfriend, I just feel as if somebody's gonna break it out like yeah. So that's good. For the audio listeners at home, the audio levels just peaked like somebody's lifeline on like Grey's Anatomy right before they flatline.
The microphone's not ready for two beautiful, powerful comedic women.
No, they don't know anything about that.
Hang out and watch.
Yeah. I'm just chilling on the side.
Oh my gosh! I just noticed your tattoo, Cognito Ero Sum. Is that one? Think Therefore I Am? Or yeah.
Descartes.
Guys, our first guest speaks Latin.
Guys, thank God, that's the only thing I speak. English is up in the air. As of yet. Hit or miss. Simlish, a little bit. Gubla, Giflang, a little bit of everything.
Simlish intro.
Are you a Sims girl?
Oh, I would love Sims.
Which Sims?
Well, I would say that I spent the most time, honestly, on Sims 4, but I would like any, like, simulation game of life. Like, I liked, what was the other one? Amview or whatever?
Don't know what that is.
Or what the fuck was it called? Where they, like, you had, like, the Yossified characters?
I've never played a video game in my life.
Okay, enough. Out of you. What the... And I, like, know you're, like, really stoked about that. No tea, no shade. I don't know you enough to, like, say something that shady, but, like, honestly, you just give the vibe of somebody's like, yeah, my parents didn't let me watch SpongeBob. It'd be like, what? No, you're me with, like, Harry Potter. I'm like, I never watched it. I, like, my mouth's open, I'm, like, over the moon to tell you that. And they're like, okay, like, who the fuck?
Emily, we're so glad to have you as our first guest.
We could not have picked a better guest. You're voicing my haters on TikTok. But like, if you just play Dungeons & Dragons one time, you'd be a better person.
Oh, I'm a D&D girl.
Cheers to that.
Cheers to that.
Yeah, D&D, Audrey Hepburn, Fangor, you can't swim, you can't dance, and you don't know karate. Face it, kid, you're never gonna make it. I don't want to make it. I just wanna... That's the intro to My Chemical Romance's...
I'm not okay.
I'm not okay. Sorry. Jump ahead to my special thing of the week, but keep going.
So where are you from?
Where am I from? Hey. I'm from Houston, Texas.
Oh,
I am from Houston, Texas. Baby. Me, Beyonce.
That's it.
Wes Anderson. There's so many people from Houston that I'm now blanking on. Meg Thee Stallion, duh.
Right, yeah.
I didn't know that. Maggie Poo was from Houston.
She is H-Town till she drowned. She went to college. She even went to college in Houston. Like, she loves Houston.
And you love it so much that you live in Brooklyn now.
I love it so much. I actually just had to get far away because absence makes the heart grow fonder.
Right, yeah.
I have a really, like, fuckboy relationship. I'm like, I love you so much. I have to, it's so overpowering. I have to get away from you.
I have to leave you on red for 5 months.
Yeah, exactly.
And then I'll stay you up, spring break, come back.
Well, I have like a very new, like East Coasters like relationship to Houston or like Texas. I romanticize it in a way that only somebody who has not lived there could romanticize. But I also did live there for the first 18 years of my life,
right.
So it's hard to make that comparison.
I mean, I can relate because my grandmother was born in East Texas.
Where in East Texas? Got it, Nacogdoches. Yes,
familiar?
I'm familiar. Small.
It's like you go to Waco and then you go past it 3 hours.
I gotta say, nothing out there.
No, yeah, just
not so
fields.
But yeah, a tumbleweed when a tumbling in.
Precisely.
Where are you from?
Thanks for asking.
Of course.
I'm from North Carolina.
North Carolina. Oh my gosh. Okay, North Carolina, Virginia.
West Virginia.
West Virginia.
Be careful there. Be careful.
Don't you say that to me.
Don't compare us to the more popular, more educated, higher ranking
What are we doing here?
I love West Virginia. I love when people romanticize the Appalachian. Like, you ever get those like random
100%. Yeah.
They're like, what it's like growing up in Appalachia, and I'm like, every person who I've ever met who grew up in Appalachia would not maybe frame it exactly like that.
No.
Well, my Instagram bio is Appalachian Girl in the Big City. So
ultimately, I forgot that North Carolina is Appalachia.
Oh yeah, I've done like the mountains.
Whoa!
I mean the foothills of the mountains.
Yeah.
Like go down the mountain and then it's my
right,
town.
yeah.
We're like the basin at the bottom that catches all the runoff and the.
Oh wow! So you're not from a city at all?
No. Well, it is
What's
the
your
city of
tone?
Hickory.
Okay. But we're really throwing around the Houston, like for example, has 4 million people that live there.
We have like
ultimately
80,000 by day, 40,000 by night.
Oh, that's actually not bad at all. No, that's like a real.
We're actually the biggest city in the Tri-County area.
So watch this space is what I'm hearing. Watch this space.
Ethan, where are you from in West Virginia?
Across Lanes, which got its name because there were 2 roads that crossed.
Cool. So how many people live there?
How many?
Less
Than me?
Yeah, for sure, less than you. Yeah.
But wait, how many people would you estimate?
I really don't know.
You've never Wikipedia'd it?
Well, I can. Hold on.
Yeah, I actually would love to
please.
know.
Yeah, let's do that right now.
What is your
4
background?
million.
For viewers at home, Ethan's background is a QR code.
Yeah, as a QR code, my dictionary audiobook.
That's so awesome to show people.
Yeah.
You know, my boyfriend asked about you.
Yeah.
In the sense of, like, he's like, so when is he going to be posting more?
I
He's
know.
like, he made it so far.
I'm almost done.
He literally was like, he made it so far. He has to keep going.
He has to.
Well, how many people?
10,000.
Oh, wow. Small.
Yeah.
Petite.
I went to high school in a neighboring town. It was called Nitro. It got its name.
Brew.
No, it well, kind of. It produced bombs during World War One.
Oh, I was gonna say nitro, like coffee.
No, nitroglycerin.
Yeah.
Nitroglycerin?
Yeah, or glycerol.
Man.
Those are words.
Nitro, a town being named Nitro sounds so like like a teenager in a 90s movie. Like Nitro High. You know what I mean? And he rides his skateboard in with sunglasses to work.
Totally.
To work being school.
Right,
because he's a child,
ultimately.
Wow. Okay, Southern girls in the house.
Yeah.
Southern girls. But Texas is an anomaly. Like, I mean, it's Southern for sure in values, but it's not like I don't know. It's like Florida. Like, there's something else going on there.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen the new season of Love on the Spectrum?
No.
Well, without getting too much into it, one of the girls, she literally, her interest, she's like, yeah. So I started making friendship bracelets so I wouldn't destroy things. And like she literally she was like, I started deconstructing like what's it called? Like a picture frame. And then someone's like parent was like, hey, what? Like, Jessica, why don't you come with me? And like started showing her like their 80s bangles. She's like, I have to learn more about this.
Make and not create. I mean, like they say in war.
Yeah.
I mean, in war. Like they say in Rent.
And the opposite of war isn't peace, it's creation.
I could be a girl.
Yeah. I'm like a huge Rent head also, specifically. That's what I watched on my actual birthday, which was awesome. And I made my boyfriend and then my comedy best friends come over and watch it. And yeah, I gave some really startling commentary on the movie. that I love
The
more
film
than
or the film concert or the film production.
No, I like
film.
the actual just movie version of it.
Mm.
Like, get Rosario Dawson there. She can't really sing, but like get her in there.
She
Like,
was great on the pole though.
she was great. I actually think like for the characterization of Mimi, I think that it worked. Like,
No, yeah,
I think
I
like
love her
she
as
didn't
Mimi.
need to. I also think people are way too hard on the movie adaptation. I think it's like good for what it is. Like, it had to be more narrative. Like, I don't think they were gonna take any other route that wasn't deeply commercial.
Yeah.
Hashtag Justice for the Rent movie musical. 22 years later.
You heard it here on that track.
Yeah.
I've never seen Rent.
Oh, Ethan. We'll have a future. We'll have you back.
Oh,
Yeah.
We'll be back for the Rent episode.
please. I have so much to say on that.
Okay, so you guys met doing stand-up.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
You are a comedian.
Yes.
Do you classify yourself as anything else?
Yeah, I guess like I initially my whole life I've acted, but I wasn't so musical theater inclined in the sense that I was like really like had severe anxiety. Honestly, up until midway through college, I would do like chorale or chorus, and I would do like behind the scenes production stuff, and I just love musical theater. So but the only time I'd ever really feel normal is like when I was acting. Like I was signed to an agency, and so I'd go on auditions a lot, and
In Houston?
yeah, but it's like I don't know. I guess I would say writer, comic, actor, third little thing. I don't know. It's so weird talking about yourself. I
Right,
don't
yeah,
know.
Okay, awesome.
We say writer. What any like particular medium that you're drawn to, like poetry, prose?
Oh, sure. I mean, I went through a major like prose phase. I was doing a lot of spoken word stuff in college.
Mm-hmm.
Where'd you go to school?
I went to NYU. That's crazy. That was the most positive response I've gotten to that information.
But-
ever.
We're out of towners. We think it's cool.
But just NYU or a certain branch of NYU?
I went to Gallatin.
Right.
Which, as for our viewers at home who don't know, it is the individualized studies program that is often reasonably so kind of memed online. But I will say with the ultimate sincerity, I think most degrees are in fact bullshit, especially in liberal arts. And if you're going to get a liberal arts degree, genuinely no better and more intellectually rigorous and exciting place to do it than at Gallatin. Like, hashtag NYU as an institution's evil, but Gallatin is an incredible program. Would recommend it to anyone. Will it get you a job? Probably not. Is that the ultimate signifier of privilege? Definitely. But hashtag sincerity, hashtag Galatino till I die.
Love.
Yes.
So what was your like degree?
So
Or,
the
like,
name of my
yeah.
degree. So you create your own major,
Right, yeah.
and then you basically work with an advisor all 4 years, like any other degree. But you're working on developing what your thesis is going to be,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
you propose your major at the end of your time. Obviously, there are like other larger requirements that you have to do to meet like a degree period. But mine was like, it was the intersection of like philosophy, sociology, and performance studies, and the name of it was like devising and deconstructing utopian performance spaces.
Ooh.
Yeah, very Galatino.
For us, though, I'm like, tell me more.
Yeah.
Well, it was just about kind of perfecting. It was the idea of what would make a perfect performance, what kind of, and how do we classify perfect? Let's just say in the hypothetical, it's maximizing communication that mirrors the intent of the performer, as opposed to like some deontological kind of belief about that, where it's like maximizing the good that's produced that society would like, or I don't know, the like in effect that maybe the audience would deem as good, or society as a whole would deem as good. And it's just like the process of communicating. It's like, it was just like analyzing the communication. I just basically what it came down to, I said that like we perform because there's no perfect form of communication. Like the very human act is the only, like there's no constructing a perfect arena to do any sort of performance, whether it's stand-up or you're getting on the stage to give a political address, because it defies the very nature of why we constructed that as a medium, but also speaks to the nature that, like, a large part about being human is believing in, like, the falsities of perfection and, like, continuously striving towards, like, this platonic ideal. But
Wow.
that's just me. Boom. That's just
Boom.
me. Boom.
Wow.
5 big booms. Yeah.
That's awesome. On a sidebar, I'm gonna ask you a lot about that.
Yeah, please do.
That's like perfectionism and performance studies and theater studies is like my life story, so.
Yeah. I just always felt like I had a very, I really felt like I was on the outside viewing and consuming a lot of media, not really doing it myself, basically, since I was a young kid. Like, I loved watching even, like, my high school theater production. I loved, like, really believed in what they were selling, so to speak.
Totally, yeah,
and I loved that they could sell me on it. And I thought that magic is, like, so much more interesting to me than anything I was doing. Like, I was really comfortable being behind, like, a screen or doing screen tests, but I would, like, on stage, that really scared the shit out of me. But to me, that was the greatest indicator that it held power in my mind. So yeah, it's just like, I think that's what's always drawn me to it. So that's why it does mean a lot to me when people say I'm energetic or on stage, because it's like, it is through, I think, honestly, bearing witness to a lot of comedy and a lot of just media over the years, and never really getting to performing and just being so excited and, like, amping yourself up on the sidelines for a really long time, and, like, feeling as if, like, every time you perform could be your last, even, like, which is so ridiculous, but it's
true.
It's true.
Especially with COVID, too. Like,
totally.
I've been in basically a sabbatical in my eyes for, like, 5 years.
Yeah.
So. Guys, getting deep here on that track.
Yeah.
Cultural theorist. Which I guess we should cheers to that. You are our first guest cultural theorist.
First guest / cultural theorist.
Guest / you've earned the title of cultural theorist.
Cultural theorist now.
Yeah.
It always has been, it seems like.
That's the LinkedIn. Cultural theorist from
Cultural
THAT
theorist.
TRACKZ.
Yes. Guys, you flatter me. You flatter me so. Well, and did you like your experience at Emerson? Or not Emerson, I'm sorry. Hey, for the viewers at home, they did not go to Emerson. They did, in fact, go to, and you're going to have to tell me one more time. Emory. Totally.
Which is located in?
I don't know.
Atlanta, Georgia.
Atlanta,
Georgia. So another southern route.
Yeah.
Well, what did you... we already went through this.
Theater studies, creative writing.
And psychology.
Psychology.
I minored in Spanish linguistics.
Okay. That's pretty cool. Spanish linguistics. So that means you speak Spanish, but also it's more so, like to do with the actual making of the language itself.
Yeah, I wanted a minor that would be kind of easy, and I had been in Spanish every day of my life since kindergarten. Not a native speaker, but it was just like a subject I had a lot of exposure to. And at Emory, like, just learning to speak the language, none of those courses count for credit toward the academic major. They're like, those are prereqs to take other classes. And I didn't really want to do a lot of historical texts and contexts, and I didn't really want to do a lot of reading.
That's
and
so
I was
interesting.
like, let's get into the phonetics of it. And with my theater background and my acting background, like...
Diction.
The diction. Yeah, it was cool. I was in, like, a voice and diction class at the same time as one of my Spanish linguistics classes. And we're talking about, like, the tongue making shapes from an acting POV and from, like, evolution of the Spanish language.
It's so cool. Yeah.
Yeah, and I always really liked, like, the math of music theory or the math of linguistics. Like, I like the small parts, but I don't like adding them up in, like, a comp sci way. I like analytical thinking about a soft science. So for Spanish linguistics, I was like, this is super cool. And I studied abroad.
Very fun. In Spain?
Yeah. Yeah, my school really loves Spain.
Español.
Yeah.
Español. I watched this amazing clip of Madonna, like, crashing out over Antonio Banderas in Spain in, like, 1984, and I was like, I literally get her. That's my girl, because over Antonio, because she had a husband, and she had, like, planned this whole evening basically to seduce him, and then he was so nice. Like, they, like, I guess seemed like they had chem, but, like, he was
down.
Well, yeah, because his wife was there.
And she's
And
like,
it was being recorded. Like, even if he was a sleazeball, like, would I want that on my...
No, but I totally understand her being like, but I'm so powerful that it should work.
No, and she literally was, like, basically taunting this woman in front of her, and at one point she's like, they, like, pan to the wife, and she's, like, blowing kisses at her husband, like, kind of like, she looks pissed, and she's like, she's really, like, trying to be like, I got the prize, bitch. And Madonna is, I don't know, it was cray. It was crazy.
Yeah, and then you were creative writing.
I was supposed to study neuroscience, actually. I took a intro to fiction course. I just really fell into prose, and then COVID happened, and I was writing these short stories that were like very dialogue heavy.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a friend tell me, "Hey, why don't you try playwriting?"
You're such a playwright.
Yeah. Thank you.
I can see that in your soul.
Thank you. Yeah, it's so why do you say that? Why do you say that?
Exactly everything.
Yeah. Can you elaborate on that? I appreciate it.
As a cultural critic,
Yeah.
I don't know. I think you have like a quiet sensitivity about you, and I feel like you're very observant to the world at large. And yeah, maybe I also do a bit of like I guess I didn't say this. I guess I'm more. In college, I was directing a lot for the stage. I also do a lot of intimacy coordinating. And, you know, I started when I got into college, it was a lot of playwriting, and I ended up kind of pivoting. But, you know, you see a very specific, like, and you say dialogue heavy. Like, people who love words are some of the best, like, at the very least, dialogue writers. And I think play is oftentimes the best arena to, like, test the limits of language or how effectively and simplistically you can convey something without sacrificing its meaning, but also you still get the luxury of time that you're not given in the concept of writing for TV. Writing for TV, there's always this subconscious fear of what's going to work.
Right.
It's very optical, and I think it's not that playwriting can be self-indulgent. Well, but like self-indulgent and not in any of the negative context of the word. It's exploring the extent of an idea to its fullest capacity.
Like indulging in
the
potential of the idea.
Exactly. And that's not a luxury you were given at all, like, in writing for the screen. And, like, I even say that when comparing it to directing for the screen versus for the stage, the entire developmental process is so different because of the time element. You are working in such direct conversation, not to launch, not to previews. You're working in such direct conversation with something that has such a monetary component that is so literalized. Like you direct for efficiency and effectiveness, which is not how I would say most people direct for the stage. I like being on sets. Like, I love watching people's processes, and I realize I love being around people who are not actors, directors. I love people who do things behind the scenes. Like, I like seeing how things are made. But yeah, not for me.
I mean, that's what kind of leads everyone, I feel like, in New York to comedy. That's over simplistic, but like, all of this, say with making a podcast or any of this, like all of these big projects, what I love, and you're talking about it too, like the collaboration of these big, like making a big screen project where you have multiple people working on lights and sound and like pre-production and post-production. Theater, having so many people in the same room at the same time. Those are like really magical, but those are luxuries. And like if you're a creator, you don't always get that many people working together at the same time. Be doing all that without money on the line, like you're saying, and like if you're a pre-emerging early career artist and there's big dollars on the line, like it's hard to get an opportunity in there. And so that's why I finally started wanting to do comedy or just self-producing anything, because it's like I don't have to wait for someone to pick me. I don't have to wait to get everyone in the same room. Like I can write a joke and tell it tonight.
I mean, it's such a, you know, there's like a total fallacy with this, but like the same could be said of social media. I mean, you have zero barrier to entry, so to speak, but it is in the total equalization of content. You just have slop. And there's so much shit that's being pumped out daily. Right. The actual some kind of amount of product completely outweighs any capacity for the average person to consume.
No, totally. Totally.
And you definitely have to play a smart game like you would anything else, but I'm grateful that there isn't that barrier to entry, and I don't know, comedy's great. And also I think comedy is really inspiring because you constantly are being surrounded, like, Tina Shade, not even just at like open mics, but in general, I'm constantly thinking to myself, if you're just like a normie or a normie in relation to comedy, you will not know how good comedy can be, even by anyone, because the people who are bolstered by, because I'm gonna be honest, the majority of people in this world who enjoy, or in the United States, or not just in the United States, in the Western world, who enjoy comedy are fucking like normie boots down, house down, like consumers. If you saw the shit that they liked, like, you'd be like, what the fuck is this? Like, it's like my brother, like my millennial brothers talk about Shane Gillis, like, who is obviously good at what he does. Like, I cannot, you know what I mean, doubt that. Right. But at the same time, it's like, this is like, I thought that's all that it was, and if anything, you have this false naivety to be like, and again, what he does is probably a lot more complicated than I'm even giving it credit for, and much more difficult to achieve to make it look so easy. But it's like, that's like, you could have this false naivety that's like, anyone could do that. I could do that.
Right.
Yeah. Wow. What a whirlwind.
We really got into so much. I came in like, and then I went, ooh. It was a crescendo and a day crescendo. Yeah. Gallatin really it really imbued a sense of sincerity I could not shake.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
We're all about it on that track.
Absolutely.
Podcast.
So now it's time to talk about like Minecraft.
Well, I think before we get into that, I mean, I'm kind of hungry. Are you hungry?
I'm hungry.
Yeah.
I'm a little peckish.
Well, I think maybe it's time we take a little break and maybe we have some cheese, because folks, it's cheese time.
Cheese time, cheese time, cheese time. I love when she does that.
Folks, it's the part of the episode where I bring in a cheese for us to try, usually from my shop, but today it's not from my shop. I got it from Murray's. I got a very special cheese, very funky cheese today.
How funky is your goose?
It's so funky, I have to keep it in this container because it'll stink up the room.
Stink up the joint.
Yeah, this is the torta del quesar, Spanish for the quesar cake.
Imagine you open this and just throw up. I just throw up, you get it on camera. Oh, it's stinky.
Yeah, it's
stinky.
Yeah, it
sounds like garbage, but I like it.
It's real Oscar the Grouch core.
Yeah, it really does smell like garboja, like, which is fine. Like, I'm so excited.
I like to eat garbage.
I love garbage.
I love garbage. So torta del quesar is a Spanish cheese. It's a raw sheep's milk aged about 60 days.
Now, how did you not know that I'm Spanish?
I know. This is such a great time.
Study abroad.
Spanish. Caroyln studied Spanish linguistics. Minor in Spanish linguistics.
Yeah, totally.
We're all coming together. So this is the torta del quesar. I'll show the camera real quick. Yeah. So there's 2 spoons here.
Wow, it has the scent.
Yeah, it's a very funky cheese. Raw sheep's milk. And I have 2 spoons, one for the cheese and one because the cheesemonger there recommended a yuzu marmalade to go with it.
Okay.
Wow, yuzu marmalade.
Yeah, so we have this. We have crostinis that I made right here.
Perfect.
And then finally, I mean, why have a cheese without a wine? So we have some Sauvignon Blanc right here.
Say that again?
Don't make me say it again.
Sauvignon Blanc?
Sauvignon Blanc. Ooh la la.
Okay, let's talk about the name of this product. Ranley. Like, that is a white woman's from the South. She went to high school with us. Ranley. She's on the White Lotus, babe.
RHANLEIGH.
She's the cut, like, twin that was eaten in the womb with Lachlan and the White Lotus. Like, Ranley and Ranley Marie.
Wow. While I pour the wine, where in Spain is your family from?
Oh, northern Spain, I believe. But, like, Villarreal means, like, I think it means, like, royal family. Like, it means, it's a very literal definition. Like, we were totally conquistador vibes. Like, we came to Mexico, did some really dark stuff, then moved to Texas. Original settlers in Texas. Yeah. It's, like, very on the nose. My parents, like, they lost all of, like, the family money, like, or, like, my family, but it's so out of holes in the sense that they were, like, they were rolling, like, cigars in $100 bills. It was so...
In Texas?
Yes, like, in this, like, 1800s.
Awesome.
Is that not crazy?
And they lost their royal status, and now they're...
Because they're doing shit like that. Like...
That's awesome.
Oh, man.
Well, and $100 back then would be...
No, that's like so much money then.
Right?
Yeah, but like, oh, that'd be do it once. That'd be
Epic chills.
Yeah, the pictures, the photo shoot. Oh,
No,
man.
yeah, the photo
They didn't even have photos like
I know,
that.
they were just there for the vibe. It was so
sketch,
good.
the live sketches.
my great grandma.
Oh, wow.
So, quick cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers to cultural theorism.
Yeah.
To the mic, too.
Cheers to Susan Sontag. Love you, girl.
Sure, love it. Shout out and love you, boy.
This is delightful.
Thank you.
I love this wine.
Thank you, Rainley.
Ranley.
Ranley.
Tsunami. Buddhism.
Thank you.
Harbor. Okay. Yeah.
So I'm excited for this cheese. It's interesting. Again, the cheesemonger who gave it to me said that it's funky in a briny way, which I'm very
that
interested
is
in.
sounds heaven to me.
I know. I'm so curious of that.
You know, I'm a briny girl.
Absolutely.
Me and a gherkin, babe, that's heaven.
I see. I feel that. I only got into pickles like this past year, the year before.
Ooh, mommy. I'm mommy. Like, I love pickles. I love anything. I love fermented foods. I love sauerkraut. I love kimchi. I love anything that just has like a brine to it. Like, I love brine. We can get into it. That's a whole other episode.
That's actually your special topic. It's all brine. All
Mm-hmm. Brine media.
Yeah.
Brine media.
Let's get into it.
Let's do it.
Yeah, let's get yourself a crostini if you want.
I would love a crostini. Sorry, I'm like...
No, our arrangement, the studio is expanding. And,
Caroline, do you want to take this one?
Wow.
Yeah.
A true monger. When I was trying to get us a brand deal with the weed pop-up table, and
this is still so funny.
I'm glad you didn't check in with me about that.
and I didn't really know if
what would Eythen?
didn't even ask you at all.
Yeah.
I wanted to take a bite so badly.
No, you have to wait.
No, wait, yeah.
You have to smell it.
Yeah.
Oh wow! I mean, it's pungent. It's earthy.
Yes.
Earthy would be the operative term here.
Yeah. Earthy vegetal.
Yeah, so vegetal.
Mm.
Like dirt.
No, it's giving dirt. It's giving like slimy the Oscar the Grouch's little pet worm with the olive in this.
Totally. It's giving wet, damp soil.
Yeah. Yeah. It's giving like let your seed propagate, you know?
Mm-hmm. Manure boots.
Manure. I just mucked the stall.
I used to ride horses as a kid. Wow, horses.
Let's first cheers.
Guys, cheers.
Cheese or cheese, as we even say in the biz. Oh, I love it. Oh God. It's delicious.
Yeah, the brine does not fuck around. Yeah.
Everyone hates it so much.
There's like a coffee aftertaste I'm getting. There's like some bitterness there.
No, the bitterness.
Yeah.
I don't mind that.
Damn, that is really good.
I'm so glad you're here. He's needed an ally. Wow, just going in.
Is that fine?
Oh, that's so fine. Yeah.
No, yeah. There's no rules once it's been begun.
Yeah, and if you want afterwards, feel free to take it. Yeah. That's the big rule. I either leave it with Caroline or I just take it.
We already know how this one's gonna go. It's not staying.
Yeah, but I think I want to try it with this marmalade. I'm curious to see what this citrus flavor is gonna feel.
I know that I'm not gonna like the cheese if he brings me wine. They're called a pairing. I really think it's like a bargaining.
That's really funny, actually. I'm weird about. Okay, the only food I'm kind of still weird about is jellies, but I will have some. But I need it to be
on there.
Yeah, I know. I saw.
I saw that and I went. I got nervous.
These portions are not correct. Yeah, why don't you marmalade yourself?
Marmalade. What do you guys think of Paddington?
He's a good guy.
I haven't seen him in his film work. I only know him from his literature.
Totally. And I'm always saying that.
That's so smoky too. There's a little smokiness in there. What was the move?
Well, because there's a sort of Yuzu's actually has like it's such a bright fruit. Mm-hmm. And it has such like a, I don't know, like a tart sort of. There's a tartness to yuzu.
Yeah. It smells like the litter box.
You said that about the Cabernet Sauvignon.
No, and my nose detects it right away.
I like it. I'm a fan.
That's wild. Usually really like that aftertaste of it that I was like hesitant of. It really like blocks it. Yeah.
I was gonna say on my first bite, I was like, oh my god, it canceled it out. Thank the Lord.
Yeah.
And then I kept chewing, and I was like, no, it's still there. There's a lot of it still there. I think this might be
your least fave.
Behind the jet toast.
I know. I was like,
Yeah.
What's the worst cheese you've ever eaten?
We haven't watched every cheese time.
So the thing about that situation is
There's only 8 released. 7. The 8th one hasn't come out yet.
No, the 8th one's coming out. This not.
Well, I've seen the clips. And I don't feel as if you've ever like your reaction kind of low key is always like this.
I actually have loved at least 3 of the cheeses.
Yeah.
Maybe only 3.
And I know which ones. It's the Rogue River, the Red Fox.
Well, I've loved 2. I've been pleased by a couple.
No, like your face was like, okay.
Yeah. She gets me. This, I just don't want there to be any, like, secretion, excrement undertone to my cheese, you know? And
why? I like it when it's fecal. I'm really into fragrance.
Not Emily say I like it when it's fecal. Wait, tell us.
Clip that.
I like fecal.
There's a real fecal undertone to this cheese, and I wouldn't have had that word without you, so thank you. You guys are really, like, getting in there.
I love cheese.
And to me, I wouldn't even count this as cheese.
Really?
What does that mean? What are you saying?
Wait, what?
Because
what would you count this as?
Sensorial torture.
Heaven. Heaven.
Almost.
Yeah.
To West Virginia. To me, cheese is something that you can snack on. You can like.
I can say.
Yeah.
Hey, baby.
What are we doing? What are we doing right now?
What are you doing?
Something you can snack on. You can put on a sandwich if you want.
It's pretty creamy. Yeah. Some turkey, some salami in there. I think it's the first time we've actually finished a cheese on the episode.
I'm not fast. I would have
Yeah, skinny chair from the distorted perspective. You're upstage.
No, this cheese just really fucks. It's yeah.
Guys, so when I was pitching our podcast to the dispensary pop-up table, and
we're back to this. Okay.
And I was like, yeah. They're like, what kind of podcast? And I was like, actually, we like discuss media. We each take a turn presenting a piece of media that we're passionate about, and in the middle we have a cheese break because my co-host is a cheesemonger. And she said, oh, at Murray's?
No, not Murray's.
I said,
Murray's is in the West Village, right?
Yeah.
I said,
Oh
no.
my God. I love
beep,
Murray.
beep, 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 beep.
Beep, beep.
It's we can't say.
Yeah.
Because the fans will rush.
Exactly.
Beep, beep, beep.
But not Murray's.
Yeah, no. I applied to Murray's.
Got rejected. Tough.
Well, I don't know if I got rejected or if they just found a different applicant.
Well, that's kind of... I love that you're describing the entire concept of being rejected.
Well, I don't think that as they just found a stronger applicant. I don't think I was turned down.
You're approaching it like we need to approach dating. Like, you know what I mean? You're like, I just wasn't the one, you know?
Hey, but Eythen, you made really good crostini.
Thank you. I do a lot of crostini making at this cheese shop too.
So we can't get a weed sponsor?
I mean, I don't know.
I mean, they're the first one to give us money.
I mean, is it gonna be money or is it gonna be product? That's my question. That's the question. Because I want money.
Guys, sound off in the comments below if they should take the spawn. What are your takes on legalization of marijuana in the United States?
If we get 50 likes.
50?
You're like ambitious. We're feeling ambitious, aren't we?
We get 30.
We get 30?
On what form of social media?
On YouTube?
No one watches on YouTube.
Well, we're getting some views. I promoted my dictionary readings.
My boyfriend said he sees the pod on the dictionary reading.
Wait, but you plug it?
Yeah, I do plug it, yeah.
One time, he and my boyfriend had like This is like a crazy story.
Wait,
I was blackout drunk, and he was also. They were both pretty drunk, and I had a New Year's Eve party, and Eythen and I. You were there?
For a very short amount of time.
Yeah.
I was there for the countdown, and then I went to the roof.
Yeah.
Totally. Wait, we have a roof?
Yeah, you guys have a roof.
Wait, you still live there?
Yeah.
You got a nice roof. There's a lot of stairs, but...
Wait, that's huge. I need to learn about
take
that.
pictures of it.
Gorge. Wait, I have to tell Addison that. But he
Wait,
had
you
like
didn't?
no. I've never traveled past the first floor, if I'm being honest. Like, that's where I live, and so I
think I got there at like 11:52, and then I was gone shortly after. But I was like, lovely place.
Thank you. Yeah, no, and then he and my boyfriend had a conversation till 4 a.m. After
The same night that I was there with you?
Yeah, after everyone else had left. They were just up, talking. Like, okay, gay.
You didn't leave with me?
No.
I left a man behind?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Well, I was having fun. We were talking about, like, animal behavior.
that's why it's so funny. Yeah.
Guys.
Well, that was a great cheese, but before we ended...
stars.
Yeah, let's do... So, Emily, we're going to rate this 0 to 5 stars.
Mm-hmm.
If you were to do half stars, what would you rate the Torta del Casar?
4.5.
4.5. There we go. Oh, and why is that?
Overtone.
The fecal overtones sure were a win. That was gonna have to be a boom for me.
Mm-hmm.
And then aside from that, I was just a big fan of the the earthiness. It was definitely super earthy, and it was just a pleasant experience for me. And it took me on a textural, mental, physical journey that I don't know if I'll ever really forget. And I like unforgettable experiences.
Guys, I didn't love it. I'm gonna be honest.
You're like crying.
Didn't love it. I think I could stomach the jet toast more than I could stomach another round of this, and that was last place.
Wow.
Because that my main issue was texture, not flavor.
Yeah.
You don't like the flavor.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm loving it.
She loved it.
I can understand being like aversive, but
I like the texture was fine. It was giving brie.
Right? Yeah.
I don't mind the texture. I just no part of me wants that flavor in my mouth ever under any circumstance.
Really?
I feel like my biological evolution as a species has taught me that things that smell fecal should not be ingested.
Well,
and I guess y'all are just freaky little pervs.
I think
subverting the norm.
I think we're really advanced. I think we're actually
100%.
we've horseshoed back around.
No, you have evolved far past where I'm
Mm-hmm.
at. As a less evolved cheese theorist, I was just wishing it was a Vermont cheddar the whole time. So I'm gonna give it.
Just say it.
Yeah. Say it with your chest.
Say it with your chest.
Half a star.
A star. Whoa.
That's
absurd.
absurd. That is absurd.
I mean, okay, they're also loving the feces taste. Flashback to earlier when they're like fecal for sure. Like,
well, people love fecal fragrances, I would say, and that's like a huge.
who?
Dude, so many people. You don't even know the shit I've seen out there in the field. Literally. Anyways.
Wait, let me get a little more.
Guys, they can't get enough of this poop cheese.
No, it bangs. Like, I think I'm putting it 4.5. The aftertaste is like, that berry aftertaste kind of hit or miss for me.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like the yuzu marmalade really nails it. But yeah, it's nice and creamy. There's like a right amount of funk. The brininess again is just so.
The brininess is the ultimate send for me.
Yeah.
No.
And like a little sweet. There's like a tiny sweet in there from the sheep's milk that I think is lovely. I'll say it. This Fox.
The creaminess counterbalances the sort of sharpness of the actual taste.
Mm-hmm.
I am so glad that you were here to be another supporter of Eythen's niche taste in dairy byproducts.
Well,
Mm-hmm.
and folks, that's cheese time.
It's cheese time!
Cheese time.
Cheese time.
Hey guys!
We're back from cheese break, and what a good funky cheese, right, Emily?
Those are some words.
Bellissimo!
Mm-hmm.
Ciao.
And I lived.
Boom.
Boom.
Boom, boom, boom.
Boom, boom, boom.
Boom, boom,
Okay,
boom.
Jessie J. Dial it back. Whoa, Nelly! Yeah.
Guys,
Oh my god, keep going.
the Whoa Nelly really did it, man.
Oh, no.
Guys, as you know, That Tracks is a media commentary podcast.
Absolutely.
One could say.
Mm.
Our new special guest edition, we've asked our guests to bring in a piece of media that speaks to them. And that can be anything. It can be film, it can be TV, it can be a musical, it can be a video game, it can be an album, an artist, a song.
Sculpture.
A sculpture, a YouTube channel.
A collage.
A mural.
An ocean.
A single painting. A single photo even. The limits are endless.
Yeah. A national park, sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
okay.
so, Emily, what have you brought for us?
So I brought for you I brought to you multiple options, but the one that ultimately spoke to my heart has to do with, and you may have guessed it based on how I teased it earlier, My Chemical Romance. What's really important for you guys to understand about this piece of media that I'm bringing into you is that I'm a late in life fan. Like,
I'm so unique.
And that's why, even if, say, the media, like the prominent media that has come out about the band predates me in many ways, or even like more so but aligned with my middle school era, I would say it's modern in relation to me.
And like Black Parade is 2006.
No, and I'm like, okay, what's really important to understand is I am like one of the biggest, maybe, I think because my comedic presence is kind of really, not dorky, but like kind of goofy with it, people would maybe assume that like I don't know if they'd assume anything. Like, I think I just exist only in there if they're paying attention alone. But I am like the biggest music snob of all time. Like, I am Anthony Fantano, but a girl.
Awesome.
And with actually better music taste, ultimately. And
clip it, post it.
Whoa.
And I really feel that way about punk music, but MCR, man, the theater kid in me has such a soft spot for everything that they're doing and did, and like it really is. It was like a true cultural moment, and the cultural theorist in me really was enlivened by the prospect of their lore, who they are, what they did, what they're doing. They're about to go on tour again. They're about to re-release Revenge, their 20th anniversary LP.
Wow, so 2005?
Yes, and they're doing a re-recording or their mastered tracks, and then they're going to have 3 tracks that were not on the original LP. So it's really exciting stuff. And they're about to go on tour again. And I don't have tickets yet, but I did see them 4 times on our last tour. So this is
wow.
See, this is my arena. I was like, why didn't I choose this to begin with?
Eythen, what's your MCR relationship?
Yeah, that's a great question. I was listening to them in high school, but I have to say, like, in the emo punk like trifecta of them, Panic! At the Disco and like Fall Out Boy and that vibe, I listened to them the least, I'd say. Yeah, I think I was Panic! At the Disco, Fall Out Boy.
Yeah, that's exactly how I felt.
Yeah. And then like 21 Pilots was like...
Yeah, it was rising through the ranks, but it was ebbs and flows. Yeah. Yes.
I've seen Fall Out Boy and Panic! In concert.
Oh, I saw Panic! At the Disco. Wait, this is actually the biggest gag of them all.
Okay.
I considered making this my topic, but I don't feel very strongly or positively about them now, so that... I've seen them 8 times in concert.
Holy shit.
Which is the, modern Panic! At the Disco. That's how you have to understand that, like, something... I've seen Panic! At the Disco 8 times.
Wait, we say modern Panic. What
Well,
album?
like, up to 2017.
Gotcha.
So, 2013 to 2017, 2018, I've seen them in total 8 times. Wow. Yeah. It's tough. It's a tough fact. But I don't think I've ever been happier, like, in my entire life.
Yeah.
When
I was like 16 and wanted to die. I love their first 2 albums. I love their lyricism, but I was always chasing that high.
Right, yeah.
Everything else, I was like, I don't know if I can fully buy it. Like, even as like a kid, I was like at 15, I was like, I don't know if I really buy into Death of a Bachelor, but I want to so badly because the original pieces of media had such a strong effect.
Okay,
yeah.
You love MCR, and underneath you've seen Panic! At the Disco 8 times. Eythen said in his trifecta, You were Panicked at the Disco #1.
Yeah, then Fall Out Boy.
Fall Out Boy #2.
And then
MCR
Emo
3.
Trinity.
Yeah, but I think only because I
Emo Trinity.
I didn't listen to as much MCR. Now I feel like it's kind of alternated. I think MCR is like
probably the objectively the best of the lot.
100%,
Like in terms of production value, in terms of lyricism, in terms of like stage performance, in terms of lore, like it really is a much more singular like apparatus. Like when you like, I don't know.
But I mean, a fever you can't sweat out of.
A fever
you can't sweat out. That's
the
name of the first Panic at the Disco.
Like some days I'm just like lying in bed, I'm like, man, I gotta listen to this real quick.
I'm the new Cancer. I've never looked better, and you can't stand it, bitch. The gaggery.
Oh.
The gaggery.
So, no surprise. A little unfamiliar with the canon.
No, tell me, what kind of music were you listening to in high school, middle school?
The Eythen Brothers, Bluegrass.
Yeah.
She spit out her wine. No, she almost did, but she kept it in.
No, composure. I'm a girl.
The Eythen Brothers.
What the fuck is... I mean, I know what that is now as an adult woman, but like as a 13-year-old, have you seen that video of like the little girl? Wait, I'm really playing out niche media. You want niche media? I got niche media. Of the little girl who's like really into like Barry Manilow.
Yeah.
Like it's like Barry Manilow or something like of that ilk. And she's like 9 years old. And she's like, I have a crush on Barry Manilow. And she's like drawing like photos. Like I'm like, that's literally you.
Yeah.
She was going to his concerts too.
I've seen more Eythen Brothers concerts than any other artist.
That's so sweet though.
Thank you. They're from North Carolina.
You're an old soul.
Thank you. I was listening to that and like Pippin, Les Mis.
Oh, I love Les Mis.
I was busy.
I was busy. I was actually. Do you know how long Les Mis is? Your 40-minute tracks, baby. That's 3.5.
Yeah.
Understand? I'm consulting the literature.
I'm on a through listen right now. And Fearless by Taylor Swift.
That album,
Crazy, awesome.
that went platinum in my mom's Honda Civic. Like that was on
no,
repeat.
It was my
on
CD
repeat
player. Okay, let's focus. My Chemical Romance.
Yeah.
I'm familiar with the song "The Black Parade."
Okay.
Because the listeners of the Emo Trifecta infiltrated my Christian high school. Shout out Charlie. And
you were like, you were disgusted ultimately. No. You were like, what the hell are those girls on?
I said, you need to watch Hairspray.
Maybe if you guys watch it, you're like, yeah, we realize you like all that gay shit. Maybe I'll show you Hairspray to calm you down. To calm you down,
Right.
baby.
Just watch Blade and Kurt kiss. You don't have to do all that.
Like, it's like, okay, enough of theatrics. Dial it back. Anyways, here's Blade.
Take off the eyeliner and watch Rachel Berry sing I Dream a Dream.
You want to hear emo? Maybe that was emotional.
No, exactly. I know the Black Parade and that's it.
Okay. Do you want to hear, can I give you an overview of the cultural significance? Okay. My Chemical Romance was formed, essentially, so Gerard Way was working at Cartoon Network at the time, working on his own pilot. I believe it was, fucking something monkey.
As an animator or as a writer?
Animator.
Wow.
He went to SVU, but he was
Special
always
Victims Unit?
he was a Special Victims Unit.
Whoa.
He talked to a few people. He made some noise and ultimately had to depart ways. But he was working at Cartoon Network, hated his job, and long story short was like the day that the Twin Towers fell, he was watching them fall from his window at Cartoon Network and goes, what the fuck am I doing with my life? Making something so insignificant, so stupid. I'm gonna leave and I'm gonna start a band. He calls up his brother, whose birthday is the day before 9/11. Or no, the day after 9/11.
So happy early birthday. Sorry about the Twin Towers.
Sorry about the birthday.
Want to start a band?
Want to start a band. He moves back into his mother's basement. From there, he's like 28 years old. He's like, I don't know or 27. He's like, I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do with my life. But he's like, he describes it in later interviews as being like a Joan of Arc sort of, he's like, he literally describes like Joan of Arc talking to him and being like, I have to make this band. Like, I don't know why, I don't know how, but this is going to be the thing that like actually affects people and it's going to matter. And he barely knows how to play guitar. He's horrible at it. He'd been in a band in college, can barely get 4 notes out. He meets up with like,
Wait, that's actually crazy that he's like, I have no musical background. but I need to make this 9/11 trauma response band.
Yeah, literally. And he had like sung a bit. Like he was in musical theater in his like early years when he was like 11. But like, you know, like he like played around with it. But he connects with like an old, like very distant friend who was like within the punk scene, Ray Toro, who ends up being Breakfast Monkey. That's the name of the
Breakfast
Monkey.
Breakfast
Cheers to Breakfast Monkey. Long story short, they end up completing the demos. Like, I think this takes over a year. This isn't like 2000. Well,
And he's writing lyrics?
Yeah, he's doing all the lyrics.
He's the front man.
Yes, and also what's important to him is his background is predominantly in not only just animation, it's in comic book writing. He went to school as a comic book animator. Like, he was featured on
That's a degree?
Yeah, or a comic book writer. Yeah, I think that was like technically his major in school, because SVU is like very...
What is SVU?
It stands for School of Visual Arts. SV. Oh, I called it SVU this whole time. SVA. SVA. Oh my god, SVA. Whoa!
Like, he's with which
SVA.
victims?
He's at SVA. And he ends up starting this band. Long story short, he ends up writing Bullets, which ends up being their like first EP/album. It's very like post-emotional hardcore. I don't know if you know this band, like Thursday. It's very rough around the edges. It leads them to create what would be considered, I believe, their highest masterpiece, which is 3 Cheers for Sweet Revenge.
Is that an album or a song?
It's the album, and it's basically what got them courted. Like, the production of this album was them getting signed to a major label. They'd been courted in the local scene. They were just handing out DIY like discs. And mind you, at the time, like, it's an inspiring story also because they're like 28.
Right.
Like, everyone in the story is like 28 years old.
Yeah. Which is old or young?
Old. Not old, but like young, but like when you're a child and you have a conception of like your own timeline when you're a
prodigy.
kid.
Fascination.
Yeah, prodigy fascination. Like, it's obviously not old to us now who are in the arts. Right. But like when you're a kid or you're younger, even like at 20, I thought that's how.
Almost
I'm like,
over
wow,
the hill.
almost over the hill. Jeez Louise. I'm like, oh, I have 8 years, so it's gonna be fine. And then 3 Cheers for Sweet Revenge. Incredible, like, it's knockout success. It's very, very theatrical, very, very like goth inspired. But let me skip to the larger thing of we're talking about cultural influence. Basically, Stephenie Meyers of Twilight was so obsessed with Gerard Way. She writes a fan fiction that later would become Twilight, that is based only on Gerard Way. She pitches this directly to him.
Twilight is Gerard Way fanfiction?
Yes! Yeah. Girl, get into it!
You knew this?
Yeah.
Everyone knew this?
Yeah!
And it keeps going.
And so...
yeah.
She
gets to him.
So, and he's like, no, I'm not doing that. He's also like 40 at this point.
She wanted him to like be in it?
Yes! She wanted him to start and do the soundtrack, bitch. And so then he's like, no, I'm not gonna do that for obvious reasons.
Right, yeah.
I mean, it's like this big corporate project, and I think the level of success he was on, I think he was very like, fuck the man at this point.
Yeah.
And on paper it reads a little silly goose.
Vampire.
Yeah. So then...
But also, like, not that far from the imagery I've seen of the band.
Of course not. But then he comes out with, on their 3rd and last, like, studio album. Well, I guess technically 4. But he's like, he does Vampire Money, which is one of my favorite MCR songs, Some Danger Days. Well, so long story short, the whole song is about give me some of that vampire money. Basically being like, you make money off of my name, your image, but also, like, I don't want to be with me. Yeah, exactly, but also not... And that's why you see Paramore doing the soundtrack for Twilight.
I didn't know that.
That's why they have all these other, like, Matchbox, like, whatever, and, like, Paramore. But we gotta... And then if you think about the influence of Twilight, that's how we get 50 Shades of Grey.
Right.
So MCR is really creative...
Wait, what?
So, because you know how Twilight is a 50 Shades of Grey fan fiction. About Edward and Bella.
Other way around.
Other way.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, other way around.
No.
Yeah.
No one ever told me that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
These are things people just walk around knowing?
Yeah.
And you can say it goes further in that 50 Shades of Grey made Dakota Johnson very popular, very mainstream. And then she went on the Ellen show, and they had that interview that sort of led to Ellen's demise.
So Ellen's demise was essentially caused by
Gerard Way.
Yeah, by My Chemical Romance.
Wait, that Dakota Johnson interview, like, I actually did invite you to my
Yeah, exactly.
That's what took her down?
Yeah. One of the things, yeah. The math is coming up on the screen, the timelines, all the pieces.
And so what are they up to now? They're releasing the re-release? They're going on a reunion tour?
Yeah, but they
released this 4th album. They were in the zeitgeist.
And also, like, these old men, like, the implications of what they have created and done, like, really do... They really do have a hold on the culture.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, Gerard has just been, like, such an active ally since the jump, and, like, so unabashed, but also so knowledgeable about the history of rock and roll, and, like, it's really admirable, and he, like, you don't realize how respected he's kind of been within the ilk of his community. I've always really loved in the time that I've loved MCR, which is probably, like, only, like, the last 5-ish years.
Yeah.
I would say that what's always attracted them to me was, like, Gerard as a frontman, because he's so shy and strange, but, like, so big on stage.
Yeah.
Huge on stage.
Yeah.
Like, his persona is so maybe ill-fit to the kind of person that he is, both in interviews and, like, also interpersonally. Like, even, like, when there's a lot of really interesting, like, rock journalism that exists, like, and, MCR is, like, a small footnote in it, but kind of, like, detailing, like, the main story is always about how Gerard is such a departure from what you'd associate, and he's just so interdisciplinary, and I've always really loved his emphasis. Like, everything is so theatrical, and he is thinking about it through the lens of comic books, and, like, what each panel would look like as its own thing. And so, after the band just, like, disbanded, he would then go on, he's very into, like, he created the Umbrella Academy, which...
Didn't know that.
Yeah.
I haven't watched it, but didn't know that.
We kind of serialized, like, a bunch of other different comics. Like, he did, like, a different edition, I believe, of X-Men as well. He's just done a lot. Like, he's a comic book artist predominantly now. But I love him so much. I #love Gerard Way more than anything, and honestly, I'm just so, like, have the funniest parasocial relationship with him.
Yeah.
And I just love his persona on stage. And every time I've seen him, I saw him once in Prague. I saw him once in New Jersey. I saw him once. I was in Prague, and then I was like, fuck, maybe I should just see the tour here. It was like $50 for GA. I saw him in Brooklyn.
Guys, fly to Prague.
Guys,
fly to Prague for your concerts.
Guys, fly to Prague for your concerts. That's a life hack. Nobody will take. I was already there, and he's just like, I just love MCR, and I think they're just so, like, relatively, honestly, in the grand scheme of things, pretty decent individuals who make up the band. I mean, you can't really know them as people, but, like, they're not seemingly evil.
They haven't been canceled yet.
Yeah, they haven't been canceled, and honestly, any major way, despite, like, appearances like the Howard Stern, like, it's, like, basic stuff that, like, a lot of early 2000s bands kind of go through, and they've, I don't know, reign victorious, and, like, have been such, like, a non-performative, like, kind of header of, like, not sleeping with, like, fans and groupies, and women, like, I don't know, it's just cool people, and it speaks to a lot. They have remained, like, such kind of bastions of culture amongst, like, emo kids. Yeah. Despite woke.
My little brother, when he was first getting into, like, punk music as a genre, the early one that gets the 10-year-old is
no, it's like it is so, like, 10-year-old.
Like, grown past it.
No, but of course.
But it's, like, the accessible. It's like, I have these feelings and I'm interested in this, like, genre, or even just, like, these ideas and these styles and these textures and these sounds.
Exactly.
I mean, I learned all the words to Black Parade so I could sing along.
Yeah.
Wait, that was called Black Parade?
No, it's the Black Parade, yeah. And oh my god, the story of the making of that album is crazy. Like, they had to, like, people almost died, like multiple band members, like one broke their leg, one got lit on fire. They were staying in the what haunted mansion in California to write the album. Like things were falling in their head. Like no, it's like a crazy.
Let's write our album in a confirmed haunted hotel.
And then they did like a seance, and it was
no. Wow.
No,
so they're like spooked out for real.
No, they're spooked out for real. It's like awesome. They're spooky. They're spooky boots.
Wow.
Wow. It's so nice to revisit MCR. Yeah.
It's really awesome. Like, honestly, very awesome and so inspiring, like, creatively.
Yeah, that was, like, one of my takeaways is he is such, like, an interdisciplinary artist. And that's the dream, is to, like, not be bound to an art form or to a project.
He just loves art and, like, is so appreciative of it. And it's just, like, honestly, if you ever need somebody to just, like, hype you up about, like, creating things and just do, like, he is so great at that. It really is, like, I love reading about and listening to people's origin stories.
Yeah.
It is a big source of inspiration for me. But yeah.
Emily.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing. I had no idea the great lore behind Twilight, period.
It's quite... I knew that was my end. Because I'm like, everyone knows about it, but no one knows about it.
No.
Right, yeah.
Totally. I'm gonna have to... What's your... For a non-fan, what should I listen to? At my current state, as a cultural theorist...
Honestly, for you, I think I just go Black Parade. That wasn't my entry point.
Is that the album title as well? Or
Yeah.
Just the song? Got it.
I would go the Black Parade. That's what they're touring right now. Allegedly. I don't know. They didn't announce, like, they kept putting out more tickets once they announced, like, the scene design. Like, I think the whole theme of this specific run is, like, supposed to, I think it's, like, about, like, I mean, it's pretty on the nose. Like, they're living out a little bit. Like, a fascist, like, totalitarian regime.
Gotcha.
Like, dog, like, the, you know, like, the kind of KGB dogs and, like, gray suits and, like, small glasses. And, yeah, so they're doing Black Parade.
Wow. Emily, thank you for sharing your media with us.
Of
Thank
course.
you for
I love media.
sharing the cheese with Eythen.
Yeah.
I'm so glad he had an ally in that experience.
Absolutely. I always need one of those. And thank you for being on the podcast.
Of course.
Yeah, very first guest.
Yeah. Emily, where can these folks find you?
Sure. You can find me at emily.villarreal on Instagram.
Spell that for the fans.
Yeah, sure. That's going to be MEMILY.VILLARREAL.
2 R's.
2 R's, don't forget it.
Well.
And then you can also find more information about, we're launching a podcast, me and my comedic partner and best friend, Addison Eyring. It's going to be called Polite Society. It's a cultural commentary podcast where we recreate or rewrite social rules we believe need to be readdressed in today's day and age. Like, for instance, like Uber rules. Like, every week we cover a new topic or a different arena of the world where we're like, okay, people need to figure the fuck out how they're gonna behave or something bad's gonna happen.
And the name of that is
Polite Society. So you can find us at Polite Society Pod on Instagram, and then
Soothsayer.
or Soothsayer, which is our open mic, and hopefully at some point our monthly show.
Ooh.
And that's soothsayer.comedy on Instagram.
All right. Oh my God. So much stuff coming out.
Guys, check out Emily, please. You know where to find us at THAT.TRACKZ with a Z.pod, at Eythen Anthony, EYTHEN_Anthony, at Caroylyn Asler, CAROLYNOURSLER.
Totally.
Yeah.
And
We'll see you next time. Yeah. Thanks for listening.
Bye, guys.